Don't get me started. Come on.
Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to another episode of the Low Show podcast. Appreciate you guys being here today and hanging out with us. We drop new episodes every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Pacific time. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe anywhere where you can get podcasts, Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, and of course follow along on Instagram at Low Show Podcast. It's May. What the fuck? I don't know where the time has gone. 2 months in quarantine almost, for me at least, and it's just flying by. I mean, we had Cinco de Mayo yesterday. Mother's Day is this Sunday. I mean, things are happening, and we are still reliving the same day over and over again. I know a lot of people have been comparing it to the Bill Murray Groundhog Day. Like, literally, though, like, when we would get up and, like, go to work, like, before all of this happened, like, there would be some different nuances that we wouldn't necessarily have every day, right? Whereas, like, now it's like, you go to bed, you wake up, you see the same shit every day. You go either to the couch or to your home office if you have that luxury, but you're still looking at the same stuff every day. So if you're struggling right now, hang in there. I feel like the end is near as far as like us working from home, hopefully. Like I mentioned in the previous episode, I don't necessarily think things are going to go straight back to where they were. I think we're going to kind of ease back into working from the office, but we just got to take it day by day. May is also National Pet Month, which is super, super exciting. If you have a pet, you know they've been a saving grace through all of this. And one thing I do worry about with our pets is them possibly like developing separation anxiety if they don't already have that. I know for Matthew and I, like we're worried because Stanley already had a little bit of separation anxiety. And we feel like now, since we've been home every day, he's going to be like, what did I do? Why aren't they home? You know? So I feel like Matthew and I are going to have to kind of do an on again, off again, like work from home situation, because we're going to have to ease Stanley back into us not being home as much as we have been. And I'm sure you're worried about that for your pets as well. But speaking of our pets, and with May being, you know, National Pet Month, like I mentioned, I feel like we should do something special for our pets. Celebrate the fact that they've been there for us and us for them. Even though things are limited right now, I feel like a day trip to, you know, the park, as long as we practice social distancing, would be fun. Maybe get them a fun little subscription box. Like we have our FabFitFun boxes, you know, and all that kind of stuff. I know BarkBox is a good one. I think Chewy does a good one too. Maybe even make some homemade dog treats. I've never done that before, and I'm thinking about it. I know you could do like frozen like yogurts or whatever for the dogs. So I might look up a recipe for that and do that for little Stan, because May is actually the same month that we got Stan too. It's our May 15th is Stanley's Gotcha Day. So it's gonna be a big party for the little Stan man this month. Let's just do a quick quarantine and chill update. So last episode we were talking about the different shows that we've been trying to watch and binge during this whole time. And I mentioned I was going to start Too Hot to Handle, which is the Netflix dating show where you're not allowed to engage in any sexual activity. And if you can successfully do that, then there's like a bunch of money that you can win at the end. I think it's like $100,000. But every time somebody kisses or does something sexual, they deduct money from the grand prize. So I gave it a shot. I think I got up to like episode 3 or 4. And I was just like, it's just okay, in my opinion. The two girls that were kind of stirring shit up and kissing and blaming it on other people so that they could watch the money drop one, it's pretty entertaining, but two, it's like, yo, like, don't ruin it for everybody. Like, that's annoying. Just because you're not having a good time, just kick rocks. Like, you don't have to stay there the whole time. I will say that Matthew and I literally binged this new Ryan Murphy show on Netflix called Hollywood in 2 days. I think there's like 10 episodes. Super, super good. If you are a fan of Ryan Murphy, you know he is amazing. I mean, he's done Glee, American Horror Story, just to name a few. And he tends to keep the same actors on with all of his projects, which I think is amazing. So this particular show, Darren Criss is in it, Dylan McDermott, Queen Latifah has a role as well. And it's pretty much a show based in post-World War II Hollywood. And it just follows a bunch of people's lives that pretty much will do anything to be rich and famous. It also highlights a lot of situations revolving around the Me Too movement, racial disparity, women empowerment, all of the things. And it's just done really well, in my opinion. There has been some backlash on the characters that he is having portrayed, that he didn't necessarily do them justice for the movements that they were fighting for back then. But at the same time, it's like, it's a fiction television show based on some truth that's happened back then. We're introduced to some new actors and actresses as well. It's just an all-around really good show. It's funny. The guy that plays, God, what's his name? Big Bang Theory. Hang on. I'm gonna look it up really quick. His character was hilarious. But, like, I don't want to say hilarious because he did do some, like, pretty shitty things in the show as far as, like, sexual assault and, you know, things surrounding that. Oh, Jim Parsons. He plays Sheldon in Big Bang Theory, but he also plays, I think his name's Henry, in the Hollywood Netflix television show. And he's just like this skeezy agent, and he's in the closet. He's gay, and at that time, obviously, that was a very big taboo thing, which is sad. But he used his sexual orientation and would blackmail his clients. So he would pretty much get his clients to do things that they didn't want to do with him, and then be like, well, if this gets out, then you're done in Hollywood. It's a big thing. But if you like shows like that, if you love post-World War II fashion, this is an amazing show to watch because the looks are turned out. And some of these characters are just very, very, lovable anti-heroes, if that makes sense. But really good show, 10/10, would recommend. But now it's like, gosh, there's nothing else to watch. I've literally finished Netflix, and I'm at the point where I am rewatching old seasons of RuPaul's Drag Race on Amazon Prime, because why the fuck not? And there's just there's nothing else out that I'm really interested in. So if there's a show that you think I should watch or you think I would be interested in, go ahead and send it my way. I'm going to keep this podcast short and sweet this week just because there's a lot going on. Hoping to get my sister in next week to guest host on the podcast. But if there's any topics or anything you would like me to cover or talk about or review, feel free to hit me up as well. You can always send an email to lowshowpodcast@gmail.com or just shoot me a DM at lowshowpodcast on Instagram. Make sure you remember to like, share, and subscribe the podcast as well as this video if you're watching on YouTube. And we will see you guys next week. Bye.